All right, so you got to remember that the Bible says that through much tribulation, you will enter the kingdom of heaven, right? Because this is like the Hunger Games right here, bro. You know what I mean? It's the real life Game of Thrones. If you want to earn a crown by the one that's on the throne, you're going to have to go through a lot of tribulation, because you got to remember the problem with this world is Satan, and he's been kicked out of the eternal realm. All right. Now, even though the Father is in the eternal realm and you're made in his image and his likeness, you don't remember being there with him. That's the whole plan, for the Father to bring everything full circle to us. A lot of our memories has been cut off, all right, on this third dimensional realm, which is why we only, like I said, use about 8 to 10%, right? What happened to the other 90? What happened to the other 85% of our minds? And if we can build skyscrapers, come up with so many different inventions, we're just using 10% of our minds. Can you imagine what we were capable of doing? Okay. Can you imagine what you're capable of doing with the remaining 80% to 90% of your mind, and how the Most High really created us human beings? It's like we basic now. We did fall from grace. And it's easy to tell now, because, man, I would like to use 100% of my mind. Man, we could have probably flew and everything like that. You know, we were probably able to fly and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, the Father really equipped us for paradise, and we really fell. He really said, I'm gonna have to take off 90%, right? Because, like, what if the Most High kept us with our superpowers, right? What if we were using 100% of our minds? We'd be some villains running around here with this wickedness inside of our program, right? You know, no man on earth is righteous. Any decent man would admit that, like, okay, you know, I'm not perfect. I'm still trying to get it together on a daily basis. But can you imagine if we was using 100% of our minds, right? So the Father, in his wisdom, knew that it would be the best thing to cut all that short. Turn the lights off on that. Let them continue to live, but they're going to live like mammals. They're going to live basic on 10% of their minds. Like, you know what I mean? Like the rest of the creatures, right? So now it almost seems impossible to name every single creature on the planet. That we don't even know how Adam did that. We can't even wrap our minds around that, because he was functioning on 100% of his, and we only have 10% of ours, right? Dang, that make a lot of sense why that would almost seem impossible for Adam to name every single creature on the planet, like the Bible says. But it was probably a flawless thing for Adam. You know, it was probably a piece of cake for him. It probably wasn't nothing naming all these creatures when you're functioning on 100% of your mind over there in paradise. All right, so worthy is the name of the Father. But I want to let y'all know that that's the whole name of the game. The name of the game, you have to remember that the enemy don't want the Most High to bring things full circle for you. All right, because Satan sees you different than you see yourself, right? What am I trying to say? You're in third dimensional lockdown. You're barely starting to realize that this isn't all there is, right? And then once you start tapping into the spiritual realm, then you'll realize, man, this is nothing. We haven't experienced life at all, right? Because you have an eternal soul that doesn't die. And the Father says that he has a glorious vessel for you, right? That's your glorified body. And your soul and your spirit's going to need another body, which is why the Bible says your glorified body. That's so hard. So what is the Father trying to say? Bro, you're jumping lifelines. You feel me? Out of one existence, I put you into another. Your soul can never die. It's just going to need a body to transition into the other dimension. And that's where Lucifer don't want you. He don't want you to reach that heavenly dimension, because he can't get back up there, right? He can't get back into paradise, and he don't want the Father to bring things full circle. He don't want you to realize that this whole time I was thinking that I was just a basic human being, waking up, going to sleep, going to work, you know, going to school. And now I'm starting to realize that it's so much more to that. And the Father start opening your eyes, your third eye a little bit more, because you got to remember, a lot of people go crazy. You cannot force your third eye. You're going to go crazy if you try to force your third eye to grow open, because that's a part of your supernatural chamber. And the Father had to close that when we fail. All right. When you open up your third eye, that's like opening up different percentage of your mind. Okay. But in this third dimensional realm, you're only supposed to be operating on 10%, because you have a lot of demonic entities around you that the Father don't want you to see. All right. And that's why the Bible calls, and that's what the Bible calls the veil. The veil hides the third dimensional creatures from the fourth dimensional creatures, because your eyes won't be able to behold these disembodied and disfigured creatures that's around you in the third dimensional realm. Okay. So the Father had to put a veil between us and them. which is why it's scientifically proven that your eyes don't even see 90% of what's going on around you. All right, so we really, the Most High really cut our superpowers off. Like, we're really basic. We're functioning on the most lowest basic vibration, and we have to go back to Him to rise that vibration up. Okay, you see a lot of people going crazy when they try to rise their vibration on their own, right? Worshiping chakras, worshiping meditation practices, right? Trying to open up that third eye. Okay, and that's the part of you that can see into the spiritual realm. It was very vital for the Father to cut that off, because you're gonna go crazy if you can just see what lies in these other dimensions. All right, because there's more demonic entities on planet Earth than there are human beings. All right, so that's why a lot of people go crazy trying to crack open that third eye, because the Father, that's for the Father that has the seal of Christ on it. He's the one that closed it. He's your creator. You can't open that thing up by yourself. And if you do, you're going to be going against the will of the creator, which is why a lot of y'all go crazy. All right, because remember, he's the lover of your soul. All right, he knows how to gradually open up that thing as you gradually learn wisdom. All right, you don't need to know everything today. And a lot of people try to learn. A lot of people want to know it all right now. And how silly is that? You're going to go crazy. All right, so the Father, he's the all-wise one. All right. And if you need wisdom, the Bible says just ask of him, and he gives it without any partiality, freely. All right, that's anybody. What am I trying to say? You can just wake up today. You can be a whole atheist and be like, you know what, Lord? I think I want to change. I don't know much about you. I really don't believe in you. I hang around a lot of people that crap on your name, but things are getting bad, man. As some of us, we got to keep it 100 with the Most High. Man, if you're really the creator of all of this, it's nothing for you to show me a sign. So I would like for you to bring me closer to you if you're real. The next thing you know, you're going to be on fire trying to wake up other people for him. And that's how this works.